May your heart be your guiding key.
So what is going on, guys? It's your boy Amaziah here, and today we're going to be getting into a little bit of a topic that I wanted to bring when the 2.8 final trailer released, but it's a good thing I waited because now we have a little bit of confirmation of some of the speculation that I was making from the actual final trailer. So in the final trailer, we have the Master of Masters making a statement that goes a little bit of something like this, if not exactly like this. May your hearts be your guiding key. Now, may your hearts be your guiding key is a little bit of a weird kind of phrase there, and obviously it wouldn't be translated or brought over into the future, especially with the vast amount of time that seemed to have passed from the time of the Keyblade War and shit like that to, of course, Birth by Sleep. But we know that, of course, later on in that exact same trailer, Mickey states the exact same thing, with Aqua saying that no one has said that for a very long time actually. So obviously, with someone not saying that, with no one saying that for a very long time, this would mean that this is a phrase that was more than likely lost in time, meaning that, of course, Eraqus and Xehanort are probably the only people who could have potentially said this around Aqua or said this around the BBS trio. So with Eraqus pretty much being Aqua's master, we have to think, where did he learn this phrase from? And I'm only going to point to one person: Luxu. Luxu obviously is the master of Eraqus and Xehanort, and I'm about to get into that right now. So we know that Xehanort, when he was a young boy, or when he was pretty much around the same age he was in Dream Drop Distance, he mysteriously disappeared from the Destiny Islands. Now in the Xehanort reports, it's talked about that, of course, Xehanort was pretty much brought to the Land of Departure to become an apprentice of a mysterious guy, I think, or some shit like that. I think he calls him a mysterious guy, or he's someone that he doesn't really know. And he pretty much become like brothers with Eraqus. So with him pretty much becoming like brothers with Eraqus, then that would mean that he pretty much spent a significant amount of time in the Land of Departure, obviously. Now, after some time there, obviously he goes on his own little journey to defend the light from the darkness in the universe, which he actually does the opposite of what his master Luxu sent him to do. And obviously, of course, we have confirmation from the E3 2015 trailer that whoever the hell their master is, if it's not Luxu, he does have possession over Master Xehanort's Keyblade, or Luxu's Keyblade. And with him having possession over this Keyblade, that's just a little bit more evidence. But the biggest evidence that we have is that if you pay attention to the two things that Mickey and the Master of Masters says, there's a difference in them. And that difference is what pretty much confirms that Luxu is the master of Eraqus and Xehanort. So if I play this clip for you, you guys will hear
May your
what the Master
heart
of
be your
Masters
guiding
says.
key.
And then if I play the Mickey
May our
clip for
hearts
you,
be our
Mickey
guiding
says...
key.
Now, you may not be able to tell the difference between these two right off the bat, and you may just think that they're the exact same, but there you would be wrong. You see, Mickey says our, not may your, meaning that, of course, Mickey is speaking of multiple Keyblade wielders. I mean, Mickey is speaking of course, Aqua, or Mickey is speaking of all Keyblade wielders, in the sense that, of course, that all of their hearts, may all of their hearts be their guiding key. Whereas the Master of Masters was speaking to his students and telling them that may your, meaning, of course, you guys, may you guys' hearts be your guiding key. Now, what's interesting to note is that yesterday it was released that, of course, some new scans was released yesterday or the day before, and when they got translated, Luxu has a quote that says, "May our hearts be our guiding key." So, may our hearts be our guiding key. Now, you want to hear the interesting thing about this? A couple of months ago, Tetsuya Nomura had confirmed that Luxu and the Master of Masters has a very special relationship that will be pretty much more fleshed out in back cover. So obviously this would mean that Luxu probably picked up the phrase from his master and carried it over into the future, which more than likely Eraqus and Xehanort probably heard the phrase a bunch of times and shit like that, especially when they probably went on their mission to save the world, which is why I mentioned it. Of course, their little mission to go defend the light, that's probably when he told them that. And then, of course, Eraqus probably mentioned it to his students. So that's how Mickey and Aqua knows it. I mean, how Mickey knows it, I don't know, but how Aqua would know it is because Luxu is the master of Eraqus, who taught his students probably similar to the way that his master taught him, and of course Eraqus taught his students probably the same way. I mean, it's kind of iffy to say because of course Birth by Sleep was created in 2010. The first existence of Kingdom Hearts X was in 2013, so obviously there's a little difference in time there, and obviously we don't get to really see too much of Eraqus anyways to see how exactly he raises his students and what exactly does he tell his students about, of course, the Keyblade, and of course making their own decisions with the power that they hold. And I'm definitely 100% sure that with Luxu saying the exact same thing as, of course, Mickey, and of course Aqua realizing that exact same phrase, I'm pretty sure that this phrase is known to Aqua because of Eraqus, who learned it from Luxu, who was the only apprentice of the Master of Masters who made his way into the future. And one interesting thing to note about Luxu is that he was chosen by his master to be his only apprentice, and the way how it's been shown off, only his apprentices have ever interacted with the Master of Masters. So obviously this would mean that this phrase would have been lost in time, or would have been lost when the world fell to darkness, had not Luxu been the person or been the apprentice to actually leave. Because of his special relationship, we should obviously more than likely come to an agreement that he would more than likely teach his students the exact same way that the Master of Masters taught him. And that's what I think pretty much just confirms it all. I mean, when you think about it, all of the dots connect with this kind of speculation, because with the Master of Masters saying may your hearts be your guiding key, Luxu saying may our hearts be our guiding key, Mickey making a statement, and then Aqua talking about that, of course obviously no one has said this in a long time, that just confirms that someone was using this exact same statement, and Luxu seems to be the oldest character in the timeline that has used this statement. So let me know what you guys think about it. Do you think Luxu is the master of Eraqus and Xehanort? I definitely believe it is, because of course the E3 2015 trailer puts fucking Luxu's Keyblade in, of course, the events of when Eraqus and Xehanort were just young boys that were students of their master. So obviously this would mean that there is some type of connection there. But let me know what you guys think. This has been your boy Amaziah. Don't forget to do a little A-class gaming, and everything you do, don't forget to keep it A-class. And I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace the heck out.